Very quickly, the Peugeot number 7's breathing down the neck of the Audi number 1. We knew this season was going to be hotly disputed, but we didn't really expect such a battle in the first moments. In the very long straight, Nicholas Manassian benefits from the slipstream, gets out and around the Audi of Alan McNeish. Manassian moves into second position.
Vehicles out there, not least the fact that the Porsche RS Spiders were extremely quick out there, particularly on the straights it seems, and it caused concertinaing when we got into some of the curves. As you can see, traffic and being held up. Seeing a Peugeot that far down the order, questions could well have been asked of the number 7 car. Marc Janet and Nicholas Manassian, and the hand singles perhaps telling their own stories. Nice work when you can get it, when you've got someone like Alan McNeish keeping it nice and smooth, but just look how hard they were being pushed here. The Lamy machine all over the back of him, and it was a question of using others as a foil out there. Would they manage to get through? It was the eternal question, I'm afraid, and nobody could guess the answer. Great fighting for position as well. Further down the field, every single spot up for grabs, but laps were running out. 172 was to be the grand finale. Super action.
Number 8 and the Audi number 2 are wheel to wheel. Lamy goes for the attack, and in late braking the Peugeot is at the extreme limit of adherence, and the talent of the Portuguese driver does the rest. Pedro recovers the trajectory, passes into the lead, but is obliged to overrun a chicane. The manoeuvre is prohibited in the rulebook, and Pedro is forced to let Rockenfeller pass back into the lead. To add a little confusion to the end of the race, just a few laps from the finish line, Pedro is hit with a stop and go. At this precise moment, the race is lost for the Peugeot number 8. Rockenfeller passes back into the lead, much to the joy of his teammate and Dr. Ulrich in the Audi pits. But instead of heading back in for a stop and go, Lamy's on the attack. At the end of the straight, he attacks on the outside. The two cars are side by side and contact's made. For a moment, Rockenfeller retains the advantage, but the Audi is wounded. The left front tyre is down, and Lamy takes the lead. Lamy only has to go for a stop and go, and to head towards a new victory.
Over an hour into the race, the battle at Spa still alive for second place. Once more between the Audi number 1 driven by Alan McNeish and the Peugeot number 2 of Nicolas Manassian. Out of Eau Rouge, great run by Manassian. The onboard shows how you can really build up speed up the Camel Straight. Late braking by McNeish. They're both off, but the Peugeot comes back on in front. Great dicing. A little bit of tyre smoke from the right rear of McNish's car. Have a look again as they both outbrake each other.
The field, no overtaking, remember. But look at that, the number 8 car, Pedro Lamy straight into the lead, but alongside him the 7 cars, they get onto Copse, and Alan McNeish making a bit down the inside as well. Can he do anything? No, he can't. He goes back to the outside, he goes round the outside, oh! And we've got the number 7 car off the track. Well, how's that for a start, Chris?
Well, that was extremely... The two Peugeots almost came together themselves, and while they were worrying about each other, Alan McNeish darted around the outside, an opportunistic piece of driving. You can tell he's been around Copse a few times, and he stole the run on them, so up to second place. Fantastic start for the Scot.
And McNeish really is flying. Yesterday in qualifying, he was absolutely mighty, thoroughly enjoying himself. And look at him closing down on the Peugeot, coming down into Stowe.
Where's Nick Manassian joined? That's what we want to know. He's the man who's leading the championship. He was back to front. There we are in 13th place at the moment. He has got a mountain to climb over the next hour. Here they come then through the club complex, coming down now. Round club just goes on and on forever, this corner. Then that short burst up along the farm straight, and then they dive down after this through Abbey, then farm, then bridge. And look at this, Alan McNeish really pushing now, so Pedro Lamy has got that Audi all over the back. We thought they were going to go away, Chris Hartley, much faster than this.
Yeah, into the complex. McNeish has been pretty quick through here, through the sector times in qualifying, just closing up on the brakes there on the way to the first part of the complex through Priory and Brooklands. He'll now go up to Leffield, winding up to the end of lap number 1 already. Seen taking a tighter line through there, just eyeing up and trying to weigh up his opportunities to get past the Peugeot.
maybe this is Audi's strategy. Their only chance is to hope that they can force Peugeot into making mistakes. They've already done it on the first lap, and if Alain McNish can harry this car, the first Peugeot, and into another mistake, maybe Audi can get this.
Now we see Sarrazin pushing hard to try and get himself into a better position, try and get himself back ahead of Alain McNish in the #1 car as they come through the tight infield section here. And it looks like one of the Zytecs in front there, just a little bit of traffic. Both the drives where we heard from Minassi and how you have to deal with that. And it looks like they're going to almost split the cars as they come down onto the straight coming down towards Woodcote. And it does look like as they turn into it, oh, it's more contact. Well, a bit like the first part of the race is contact between a Peugeot and an Audi. Again, it's McNish involved. And this time it looked a very optimistic move from, I think it's actually Dindo Capello on board now. It is, yes, the McNish Capello car. Dindo looks to have got the car out of the gravel. And Ulrich looks incredibly frustrated by that. You can see the whole Audi team looking on. And that is the Sarrazin and Lamy car. And does that look like it's going to be able to get going again? Yes, it is. I think the Peugeot, because it was on the outside, was perhaps the one slightly more at risk. The benefit of the tarmac runoff area doing its job, but that little bit of gravel, relatively small, just doing enough to slow the cars a little bit more, and perhaps helping both of them to be able to recover sufficiently to be able to find out.
It was the beginning of a string of problems for the Farnbuckle Olsman. Check this out for traffic control. Audi versus Peugeot. Lucas Luhr and Christian Klein involved in a tremendous scrap. That one went Audi's way. Check this out from high above. Christian Klein using the traffic, using the momentum, and got through to take the lead of Petit Le Mans.
Horsepower, down the straightaway we go.
There he comes. These guys hitting close to 200 miles an hour here down the back stretch. Just moves it to the inside and take the lead away.
We've seen that the Peugeot has the legs. It has straightaway speed, no question about it.
They have boasted they have the fastest sports car in the world. Is it the most reliable? 1,000 miles is the playing field here today, and we will find out as we go and race into the day.
Peugeot went with Christian Klein. He's only raced with this team at Le Mans this year. Why not go with Stefan Sarrazin, who's raced in the U.S. and raced this car all season? Christian Klein never racing at Petit, never racing at Road America. In fact, the only place he has raced in the U.S. is at Indianapolis during the Formula One races.
Well, he's got to get on the tail of Marco Werner here, but I don't think Marco Werner can make this car wide enough. Will he make the move before turn 6? Accelerating off turn 2. Marco Werner looking for that set of lights in his rear view mirrors, and here comes McNish.
You remember at Le Mans when we were there earlier this year in the nighttime stint, in the early stages of the nighttime stint, Klein made an unforced error. He has never raced Road Atlanta before, never raced at night at Road Atlanta before, and he's got the multi-time Petit Le Mans winner and champion chasing him down.
Looking through the headlights, he ducks to the right side. Now back to the left, the inside line. No, Werner later on the brakes.
Not enough straightaway speed to get that pass made there. He'll try that again, but all that Dyson up front has brought McNish right to the back end.
Audi versus Peugeot. Who's going to win the final Enduro of the season?
Boy, look how much McNish has closed up. There is the Scotsman down into turn 1. Werner, the newly crowned, the 3-time series champion, under pressure from Christian Klein, but Klein will be under pressure from McNish, who is storming up onto the back of the Porsche.
He is flying, Lee. He is
Peugeot
just taking car lengths out of the lead that these two cars. Look at this, down into turn 5. McNish later on the brakes.
They are ganging up on the Peugeot 908. Klein is now the one under pressure, and McNish is flashing him.
That'll really distract him. That's horrible to have that in your eyes.
Werner has to defend. He has to somehow hang on to this lead down this long back straightaway. On board with McNish. Slower car's going to come into play here shortly.
And for Klein, he's got to get around Werner right now on the straightaway. He's got to, because McNish is going to eat him up.
He can use the traffic. Oh, look at this! On the inside goes the Peugeot. New race leader, Christian Klein.
That had to happen, Calvin. He had to get by that other Audi.
Talking to Alan McNish earlier, he was sitting here watching our coverage, some of the helicopter shots of the back straightaway earlier, and you could see the frustration on his face. He said, how can we compete with that? The straight line speed, we just don't have it. And you can hear the frustration in his voice, and I think you see the frustration right now in McNish. He wants to take the fight back to him, and he wants Marco Werner to get out of the way.
Audi has to make a decision right now. McNish has the fastest race car. He has to get by his teammate. I would think team orders have to come into play here, Dorsey, if they want to win here tonight.
You don't want him crashing. You know, with McNish with those soft tires, he's faster, but he's using up those tires uselessly right now.
They have this problem.
Alan is the one directly behind on new tires.
That's the polite way of saying that McNish is probably quicker, Marco. Traffic, the Corvette there in turn 7. Clean is through.
This would be the place to make it happen. On the straightaway, all you got to do is just breathe a little bit and he'll be right by.
Here's McNish on his teammate. Side by side, McNish is trying desperately to go with this Peugeot. Moves into second place convincingly.
Now it's on. Now it's fully on.
Think of how this day has rolled through. Alan McNish had the off on the formation lap, getting the car to the grid. They started from pit lane, 2 laps down. Now he's on the tail of the leader with 31 laps to go.
And McNish has got to make that pass early in the lap, somewhere up here by turn 1, 2, 3.
Faking to the inside as he putting Clean under pressure, trying to force him into a mistake. Look at this. He's right with the Austrian.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's weaving the car back and forth to distract Clean. Now there's traffic in the way.
Now you could be patient at the early parts of this race. No longer. The lead is up for grabs. McNish looks to the inside for turn 5. Traffic ahead. McNish will try and time it off the corner. Gets a run.
This is where he is like no other. Even the greatest at Le Mans, Tom Christensen, says, we'll put the Terrier into the car. And he gets him. What a move from McNish.
Takes the lead now. He takes more traffic. A buffer now as they get onto that straightaway. Will that be enough for McNish to hang on to the lead?
That lap car will help out a lot, no question about it. But watch the Peugeot now. It's going to start lagging.
He's too far back, though, Dorsey. I think Alan's got a strong enough lead here. What a move by McNish into turn 6.
This is it, the pass for the lead. McNish on the right of your screen. Christian Clean on the left. Uses that traffic perfectly.
If they touched, that was close there with the left rear corner and the front right of Clean.
Marco Werner almost went through on Christian as well. These boys at Audi Sport North America who have worked tirelessly, particularly with the one car, to get it repaired and get it back out on track. From 2 laps down to be leading this race in the closing stages. Fighting superior speed aboard the Peugeot. McNish with racecraft and experience wrestling that lead back.
That's the key, Lee. He has the experience. Look at him there. He's already cleared that traffic. Clean comes with him. This is where the experience over the years that Alan McNish has. He's gone for 3 straight here at Petit, his 4th win at Petit Le Mans.
Now Clean is close enough, though, that the Peugeot power on that straightaway is going to come into play. He's right there.
Alan will realize it. He will defend to the inside if necessary.
When it's one-on-one like this, it's in Peugeot's favor. As we come through 7, watch it down the back straight.
Here we go. Watch that power. Here it comes. What can Alan McNish do, short of running back and forth across the straightaway?
He has to stay left. Marco Werner didn't. He has to stay left here as they get towards the braking zone and make Clean go the long way around.
Under brakes, Clean is going for it. And he may have got the left wheels on the grass.
You saw Alan there in the middle of the road and still Clean went to the inside. There wasn't enough room. Squeezed him.
Is that a double wide R10?
Well, now he knows what he's got to deal with, doesn't he? Next time he... Can't believe he went to the inside there.
That was the Peugeot team anxiously watching the fight. Here's the replay. Check it out down into 10A. Look left.
Alan McNish is and Clean.
I'd say he went out in the dirt.
The boys have been pretty polite to this stage of the race. Alan is not going to give this one away easily.